Peace, 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 family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this summer solstice masterclass, womb alchemy workshop. We just got an amalgamation, if that's how we say the word, right? We just have multiple things coming together at this time for a divine sacred purpose. We have work to do, okay? Today is the summer solstice, so I want to make sure that I give you everything you need to optimize this energy. But not only that, when you leave here today, when you leave here today, you are going to have a deeper, more divine, sacred understanding of what balancing masculine and feminine energy is. Whether you are a man, whether you are a woman, you are going to leave here today with some hot fire science, um, things that I've been doing over the last couple of months that have been supporting my growth and my transformation. We're going to start off diving into the summer solstice energy. Then we're going to tap in with the womb alchemy healing energy and just make this a whole cosmic bomb. So as you come in, please say hey. Please say hello. 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 I just had a session with a young lady and we were totally vibing out to that Erica Badu and what's my guy's name? Erica Badu and Andre 3000s. Hello, hello, hey, hello, hello. And that's how I feel for y'all today. So as you come in, definitely say hello. Do me also a favor and like the video. Do me a favor, like the video. That means a lot to me. That makes a difference. So let's make sure that we actually do that. And then listen, here's what I want y'all to understand. This energy right now is so powerful. And if you optimize it, if you use it in the way that I'm going to be sharing with you today, you are going to be setting yourself up for a very powerful and impactful second half of the year. If you want a more powerful, more impactful second half of the year, let me get a hand clap in the chat. Let me get some sort of affirmation, some sort of confirmation in the chat of you saying, yes, that is what I want. That is what I'm going for. Let me know in the chat where you're at, what you're wanting, if you are desiring that growth, that healing, that transformation, that manifestation. Yes, 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 yes. I'm loving the hand claps. I'm loving the hands up. Peace, 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 peace. All right. So I got a question for y'all. Before we even get too deep into it, I have a question for y'all, and you need to answer the question. Preferably, answer it in the chat here, because you never know. I just may engage your response and see if I can support you right now in real time, support you in manifesting this greatness. Okay? Real question for you all. Let me know in the chat. Do you feel that you are living in the fullness of your being right now? Do you feel that you are living in the fullness of your being right now? Do you feel like you are letting your light shine? Do you feel like you are being your best self? Do you feel like you've tapped into your power and into your essence? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. All answers are welcome. If you say yes, I want to know why or how. What is the confirmation and the affirmation you are receiving that is letting you know you are in your flow, you are in your bag? If your answer is no, I want to know why you are not in your flow, why you are not in your bag. All right? Why you are not living your full life, why you are not being the full essence of who you were called to be. So let me know in the chat. We're getting some yeses in the chat. For those of you who said yes, let me know how you know. What is the confirmation? What is the affirmation? What are you receiving to let you know that you are? If you are not, tell me why you are not. I want you to know right now that this is a safe space for you. I want you to know right now that me, Desiree D. Ray Wise, I am literally here to encourage you, to uplift you, and to let you know that you are enough. So no matter what your answer is, I want you to know that in this space, you are safe to be vulnerable. You are safe to be open. You are safe to be free. You are safe to make peace with whatever your current reality is, because it is my purpose and it is my goal to help you realize that everything is working out in your favor. Even this moment right now where you're not in that flow and you're not in that power, you're here right now. Okay? You're here right now. So you're going to receive the gifts that you need to receive. All right? So Iman says, yes, I'm living in the fullness of my being. Awesome. Hanan says, no, at the moment. Hanan or Hanan? Hanan! Oh, God. I'm acting like I'm at Korean Taekwondo class. Let me know what's going on with that if you can, if you are willing. What is actually stopping you? I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. And the reason why we have to talk about this is because this is the energy of the summer solstice. And so right now in this moment, I want to support as many of you as I can in working through that energy. Okay. That's what we're here to do today. We're going to tap into some power. All right. So let me know what's going on with that. Hanan or Hanan. Okay. Shay says, yes, congratulations to you, sis. Carissa, I'm driving, but I'm listening. Yes, I'm glad to have you here by any means necessary. Yes, yes. And you are definitely loved. Okay. Shaquila Smith says, in progress, I received the signs and everything, and I know I hear spirit and everything, but I feel it's just still in progress, if that makes sense. It does make sense. It does make sense. A thought process that I want you to start to cultivate, though, Shaquila, is what if where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, right? And I challenge you with that, because if we're always in progress, the reality is, the truth of the matter is that we're always going to have work to do. There's always a deeper, higher level of work that we have to get to. But you want to take moments to recognize how much work you've done. You want to take moments to love and nourish yourself. You want to take moments to appreciate yourself. You want to take moments to have gratitude for how far you've come, because when you do that, that sends a message to your spirit, to your higher self, that you got this. But if we stay in this mindset of in progress, we'll feel like we never get to a destination. And we have to take time to embrace and accept those moments where we do manifest and when things do come into fruition. All right. Tammy Lawrence, what's up? Thank you for that answer. Tammy says, no, I feel stuck, but I do trust it will get better. Yes. Okay, Shambrika. Hey, girl. Thank you for that. I love that vulnerability. I love that honesty, and it will get better. Trish, no, not at the moment. I have regressed into unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to deal with things being revealed that I actually prayed for to be healed. That's a part of the process. So we're going to talk about some of those things. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad all of y'all are here. No matter where you are on this journey, I'm glad you're here, because you're going to get the inspiration, the encouragement, and the wisdom that you need in order to progress and move forward. All right. Iman says, in this moment, I am liberated and I feel fully aligned with my purpose, while also finding balance to operate in the innocence of my inner child. Yes. Awesome. That really aligns directly with the summer solstice energy, because if we think about the sun card in the tarot, I should have grabbed that card. If we think about the sun card in the tarot, it's a child on a horse that's like, hey, happy. That's the gift of living in your purpose. When you are living in your purpose, you fulfill some of those inner child wounds. You heal some of those inner child wounds, right? Some of the inadequacies, some of the triggers, some of the downfalls, some of the disappointments and heartaches, those things get transformed and transmuted by you allowing your divine light to shine. So thank you for sharing that, Iman. All right. Let's see what Hanan says, life hit me pretty hard a few years ago and I had lost myself due to those sudden changes. It has been a journey recovering and getting back to me. I'm on the path, but not fully there yet. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, because you know what? It's only up from here. Congratulations, Hanan. Excuse me. Because you get to use those challenging moments that you've experienced. You get to use that as fuel. You get to use that as clarity. You get to use that as an opportunity for you to decide what it is that you truly want. And you get to be intentional about shaping and structuring your life around that stability, around that power, around that enlightenment, okay? And around being grounded in who you actually are. All right? So thank y'all for sharing. Let me tell you why that question was so important. That question was so important because when we think about the summer solstice, we automatically think about the sun. And what does the sun do? The sun shines its light. The sun nourishes us. The sun nourishes the plants and nature and the earth with its light. The sun gives in such a way that it provides and fulfills our needs. Let me tell you how juicy this is. The sun is the masculine energy. The earth is feminine energy. Okay? So through the sun giving, the earth takes in that light, cultivates it in its womb, and births plants and fruits and vegetables and trees and et cetera, et cetera. Do you understand? So when we're talking about the summer solstice and how we are to be using this energy right now, family, this summer solstice is asking you to tap into your little light. And I don't even want to say your little light. It's your big light, baby. You got big energy, okay, baby? This summer solstice is calling you to tap into your inner sun. This summer solstice is calling you to let your divine sacred light shine. And the divine and sacred and beautiful part about that, family, is that no matter what you've been through in the past, in fact, everything that you've been through in the past is what adds value, is what adds context, is what adds power to the light that you are shining. Everything that you've been through, all of you who have said things have happened, I've had some challenges, I've this and I've that. All of you who have said all of those things, understand that all of those experiences, all of the heartbreak, the disappointment, the sadness, the rejection, the abandonment, all of those things just adds dimension, okay? It just makes the light that you are meant to shine more dynamic, more powerful, more impactful on your earth, okay? Follow me here. Follow me here. The earth and the sun, they have a very synergistic relationship. They rely on each other. Here's what I mean. You shining your divine sacred light, you letting yourself be seen, be received, be heard, is what's going to create a grounding, provided for, sacred experience in this earth realm. What am I saying to you? I'm saying to you, family, when you discover your purpose and you live it intentionally, holistically, and you are very active in how you are showing up, when you do that, this is where your abundance, your healing, your love, your fortune, this is where anything that you can desire from this earthly experience will manifest. Okay? Many of you, it's not your life situations, it's not the circumstances that are keeping you from not living that fulfilled life. It's not that. The blockage to the fulfilled life is the fact that you are afraid to shine and be your divine sacred self. Give me a check if we follow me. Give me a check if we understand. Give me a check if we're picking up what I'm putting down. let me know. I want to make sure we're getting it. Okay. This is some powerful, juicy stuff. Okay. And if you could understand this and use this summer solstice energy, if you could understand this and use this summer solstice energy, this is how you're going to create beautiful shifts in your life. Mm. How do I know this? How do I know this? How do I know this? I know this because when I decided that I was just going to be me, that I was going to let my light shine, that I was going to be my unique, different, weird, okay, out of the box, unordinary, unorthodox self, so much opened up for me. You know, when I made the decision to know that not only is it okay to be me, that it's great to be me, when I decided to own that, okay, when I decided to own that, miraculous things started happening. Okay. You know, and that's the thing about spirit. See, a lot of times, y'all, you're doing rituals. How many of y'all have done a ritual because you needed some quick money real fast? How many of you have done a ritual because you wanted to manifest a relationship real fast? Let's be real about it. Many of us have done that. Many of us have done that, right? But the real gift, right? The real abundance, the real love, the real manifestation of the ritual is not in the things, it's not in the fleeting things that come and go. The check that makes it into your in your mailbox, even though that's great. We love that. We receive all the checks, right? The little quick relationship stint, the 2-3 month relationship you had. Oh, that's fun. You had fun. It was a good time. We love that. We enjoyed that. But the real power is when you are changed and evolved through that ritual. The real power is when not only do you attract the check that one awesome time, but it's when abundance becomes a part of your nature, when abundance becomes a part of your personality. The real power is when love becomes a part of your being. So not only are you expecting or manifesting love from a partner outside of yourself, but you're experiencing love in so many different ways, shapes, and forms, okay? So what I'm saying to you is the spiritual work that we are doing right now in this summer solstice energy is not so that we manifest this quick thing, this fleeting thing. The work that we are doing right now is so that we are evolved from the inside. It's so that spirit sends us the information, the wisdom, the insight that we need for us to be changed for the better. It's so that we receive the knowledge, like DJ Shea Butter said, the longevity, the sustainability of this new state of being. And so when you decide, when you choose that you are going to let your light shine and that you are going to live in purpose, on purpose, when you decide that you are going to be who you were called to be, things are going to start manifesting in your life that are going to support your evolution. Honey, the right teacher is going to pop up. The right books are going to pop up. The right relationships are going to pop up. The right conversations are going to happen. That will allow you to solidify and make permanent, for as long as it needs to be, this new state of being that you are desiring to embody. And that's what we're here to do. We don't want no get rich quick schemes. We don't want no love spells, okay? We want to become the being that has the fortitude and that has the spiritual power to withstand and withhold and to nurture and to love the gifts that God is bestowing upon you. All right. Yes, if that sounds good, if that sounds juicy, if that sounds delicious, let me just get a hand clap, okay? Because I am telling you all from experience, I've been experiencing this energy for months now, and it's changing me. It's changing me. And so I just want to share this with y'all. I just want to share this with y'all so that you can do it. Because let me tell you, you are a sacred being, you are a divine being, and you're meant to live boldly, powerfully, impactfully, prosperously, passionately, cosmically, right? You're meant to do that. And we are in a time where we're being initiated into that state of being for ourselves, right? Spirit has given us so many gifts and so many opportunities. And that's what this summer solstice is. This summer solstice is a gift for you to tap into your light. Okay? But you got to be receptive to the gift. You got to welcome that gift into your being. All right? I read something last night. I was in a wormhole last night, if y'all know what that is. I was in a spiritual wormhole, and I've actually been in this spiritual wormhole for the past few weeks. Actually, I've been going through this initiation process, and a lot of you have been as well. Okay, Spirit already let me know I'm not alone in this. Many of you have also been going through a spiritual initiation, and I said it a few weeks ago, but I never talked about it on the video. A few weeks ago, even though y'all know I'm pregnant, let me go ahead and say this. If you have been divinely supported by Dream Wise and I, if you have been divinely supported by Dream Wise and I, and you want to love on us, we have decided that instead of receiving baby shower physical gifts, we will love and appreciate if you all would donate to our birth. We would love and appreciate if you all would donate to our birth and our midwifery care. And so if you've been supported by us, go to our GoFundMe for our birth and midwifery care and send us whatever you can, right? I think the minimum is like $5, and then you can go up to as much as you want to go for a baby. You can pay for the whole birth, right? Pay for me to have that water birth. I've been wanting this water birth for like 7 years. And I am, and I will have a water birth with this fourth child. Finally. Okay. I will have a water birth with this fourth child. I'm claiming it. I'm aligning with it. I'm spiritually in tune with it. So if you want to donate to our birth, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Dreamwise just dropped that link right there. Let me pin it to the top so that you all can donate to our birth, because I'm excited about it. You know, a lot of y'all sent us gifts for Kimmy. For example, like Iman, who's in here right now, she sent us this beautiful boppy pillow. I mean, one of our Patreon members sent us like a year's supply of diapers. Our Jock, one of our Patreon members, he sent us all of these baby onesies. So, you know, Kimmy she's still 1 year old. So we have a lot of baby stuff. So if y'all want to love on us, I just pinned the link that Dreamwise posted to the top. You can head over there and donate to us, right? But anyways, I'm pregnant. And so, but once you get to the second trimester, this is when you get your energy back. But for some reason, y'all, in the middle of the day, I'm like passing out, right? I'm sleeping hard. You know what Spirit told me? Spirit said, baby, that's because you're being activated. Spirit said, that's because you're going through an initiation. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I feel very energetic. But when I take these naps during the day, it's taking me out. But what's happening is the DNA is being transformed and transmuted, and the vibration and the frequency and the sacredness that dwells within my DNA and your DNA is being activated right now. And I got confirmation from this the other day. And this is why I want to talk to y'all about this, because I want you to know that Spirit, the divine God, is putting things in place that are supporting you in becoming who you're meant to be and getting to your next level. So whether you are already living in your purpose or not, there's more abundance that you can have. There's more outreach that you can have. There's more influence that you can have. There's more impact that you can have, right? If you haven't yet discovered your purpose and your power, this is the season for you to discover that, invest in it, tap into that masculine energy and embody it so that your earth can open up, right? So that your abundance can open up. So I received confirmation of this because at first I was like, I'm sleeping, but I'm not really tired. I don't know why I'm sitting on this couch and just passing out. And Spirit was just like, okay, you're going through an activation process, right? And so you all know Miss Blue. I love Miss Blue. I called her on Planet Remix. She had a Planet Remix show that I love, and I never call in. I rarely call in. I just listen. But this time I'm like, 2 days in a row, Spirit said, you need to talk to Miss Blue. You need to talk to Miss Blue. So I'm laying in the bed, Kimmy is asleep, Dreamwise is asleep, and Miss Blue is on the live, and Spirit says, you need to call. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see. I grab my phone and my phone says 11:11. This happened just on Saturday. My phone says 11:11. So when I saw the 11:11, that was my confirmation. I was like, okay, I have to call. Like, I have to call. Why would I see 11:11? I call. 2 calls later, right? Miss Blue picks up for 2 other people. She picks up for me. And we're talking. It's so divine. And I tell her what's going on. So this is an experience that I've been having. And some of you have been having the same experience as well. It's just happening in a different way. So for me, family, I've been waking up in the middle of the night. And when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm seeing nature around me. I'm seeing flowers just floating up in the sky in my bedroom. Okay. I'm sleeping in my bed. I want to make this very clear for you. I'm sleeping in my bed, and you sleep, you're knocked out. But then when you switch sides or you roll over or you hear something or you get hot or you got to go to the bathroom, you wake up very briefly. In those moments of me waking up, I'm seeing flowers, or I would see butterflies, or I would see some sort of creatures I ain't never seen before, right? I'm seeing nature while I'm in between sleep and awake. And this has been happening for a couple of months. And Spirit was like, you need to talk to Miss Blue about it. She's going to be one of the few people who can really give you the truth and the insight about what you're experiencing. And so I see that 11:11 and I give her a call and we talk about it. She was like, oh, girl, you're just going through an initiation process. I was like, I knew that. I knew that was happening. And then she says, so what's happening is while you're sleeping, you're being taken to this sacred garden, this sacred land, this place of nature. There's probably not any humans there. It's probably just nature and animals or whatever. And as you are in that in-between state, you're still seeing where you just came from. Come on, Spirit. When she said that resonated so heavily with me, I was like, yes, that is it. That's it. It's amazing. And I'm telling y'all that story because this is happening to you all as well. This is happening to y'all as well. Where you're being refined, you're being healed, you're being transformed, you're being pushed, but maybe you're not recognizing it. Okay. And let me tell you why. I read this in a book last night. I told y'all I was in a wormhole last night studying. Just Spirit just had me in a whole bag, right? And I read this quote that says, purposelessness is the egregore of fear. I'm going to type that in the chat because I want y'all to read that. Purposelessness is the egregore of fear. Y'all let me know in the chat what you think that means. Purposelessness is the egregore of fear. If you are into the occult and into like the dark side of dark side, right? Then you know an egregore is an entity. It's a thought form. It's an energy. Okay? I'm taking y'all somewhere here. I need you to follow me. When I read that, here's what Spirit gave me. When I read that in the book, here's what Spirit gave me. Spirit said to me, when you, let me say, I'm not going to say you, because y'all getting it. Y'all are getting it. You're tapping into your purpose. But Spirit said, when people are not connected to their purpose, they feed this entity of fear. Fear and purposelessness go hand in hand. Here's why. If you cannot see a greater vision for yourself and for your life, then what's the point of doing things that make you uncomfortable? What's the point of facing a fear if there is no goal, no desire that will manifest through facing that fear? If there's not something that is driving you, that is pushing you, that is evolving you, if there is not a vision of yourself, this little light of mine, if there is not a sun that is meant to be birthed from you, that goes for men and women, if there's not some light that you are meant to shed and you are not aware of it, what's the point of fasting? What's the point of meditating? What's the point of doing the hard work? What's the point of showing up? So many people, and this may be you, whoever it is out there, I want to let you know I'm here for you. That's why I'm making this video. But some of you are not facing the fears that you need to face in order for you to become who you need to be, because you have not discovered your purpose, the light that you are meant to shine. And so if you are not aware of the light that you are meant to shine, it's difficult to go out and face challenges head on and overcome and get to your next level. Okay? So right now, within the summer solstice energy, you have to discover at this point in time what makes you divinely you. And you have to discover what's actually driving you. And we have to surrender being driven by lack. Ooh, come on, Spirit. Let me take a sip of water to that, baby, okay? We have to surrender being driven by lack, being driven by inadequacy, being driven by not being good enough, being driven by I have to prove something to someone, being driven by anything that is not purely and divinely instilled in you. You got to find out what your light is. You have to find out what your divinity is. You have to find out what your power is. You have to find out what your purpose is. Not what your mama told you, not what your daddy told you, not what your trauma told you, not what your abandonment, your rejection told you. Because those are the things that are driven by lack or inadequacy. And when you are striving to become something based off of those low vibrational experiences, thoughts, and emotions that you have, when you are striving from that place, you'll never get to the destination. You'll never truly feel fulfilled. You'll always feel like you got to just keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. It's because the desire, the goal that you have is not rooted in your own authenticity, in your own truth, in your own being. So Iman says, when you have no purpose, it keeps you in a space of fear because subconsciously, you know you are not walking on your path. You fear because of your sense of emptiness. This is very true. Very, very true. When you become grounded and connected to that energy that embodies you, but that is also greater than you, when you become connected into that, this allows you to be okay with taking risks. This is what allows you to be okay with uncomfortability because you know and you understand that it's bigger than you. It's greater than you. And as you take these risks, you discover more of your power. You discover more qualities about yourself that are in alignment with God. Okay? So here's my next question. Are we ready for my next question? These are questions that you all can meditate on and journal to tonight, okay? All right? You ready for my next question? Here's my next question. My next question for you is, who would you be if you were living in your divine sacred light? Who would you be if you were living in your divine sacred light? Let me know some of those qualities. Let me know some of those character traits. Let me know some of those energies. Who would you be if you were living in that light? How would you feel? You know, I was meditating to this last night and thinking about this last night. And I actually continue to get more and more clarity on what I'm supposed to be doing. And Spirit was just telling me, like, I just was like, damn. And if you're not a part of Patreon, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to be. Because in Patreon, I'm going to go in greater detail about how I'm discovering these things. Because here's what I discovered about myself last night. Here's the thing. You know some of these things. You know some of these things. You know some of these energies. But you are embodying it. Right? You know, okay, I'm supposed to be like self-care boss says, sweet, gentle, fully free, bold, and loving on all that I meet, right? So you know that about yourself, but for some reason, there's some sort of conditioning or some shadow aspect that is stopping you from embodying that. Okay? That's stopping you from embodying that. And so the work that we have to do right now is, once we get the answers on who and what we're meant to be, okay? See, some of y'all are like, good question. I have to think about that. Cool. Okay. Some of y'all are, CC, you said fearless. Listen, I want you to go deeper. Fearless is too general. Fearless about what? See, I want y'all to dig deeper into yourselves right now. We're going beyond the surface. We're getting deep into our core. Okay? If you are fearless, then what would you be doing? You see, fearless is this top layer. What's right underneath it? If I was fearless, then I would be. You need to discover what that is. I would say what's on my mind. I would set healthy boundaries. I would travel the world with my kids. Fearless of death. So if we got fearless of death, okay? Fearless of death, then what you're really saying, and this is why we got to flip. See, this is why also I'm going to tell y'all, you need to join some of our one-on-one coaching or classes with me or with Dream Wise or Patreon and things like that. Because if we get deeper, even using CC's example of fearless of death, then what we're talking about is who you divinely are is bold. Who you divinely are is a risk taker. You understand? Who you divinely are is somebody who lives life to the fullest. And see, these are the words that you want to focus your energy into. Why? Because those are the words that you can start embodying today. Okay? So when we go deeper, some of you have actual words here. Like, I would be confident. I would be compassionate. I would be disciplined. I would have strong boundaries. I would be full of love and abundance. How do you express that? See, I would even go deeper to say, how do you express love and abundance? Does that look like imparting words of wisdom on people? Does that look like energy healing, laying hands on somebody and sharing love with them by giving them a hug? Okay. I love that. Shakila says helping them become their best self and healing their traumas. That's what I'm talking about. So once you have that clarity on who you would be if you were living in the fullness of your being, if you were living in your divine light, once you have that, then when you wake up every damn day, you have to make a decision to be that. So self-care boss says sweet and gentle. How can you show up sweet and gentle in your daily life? What does fully free mean, really? Does that mean you dress a certain way? Does it mean you speak your truth? Does it mean you're vulnerable? Okay. Loving on all you meet. How do you love on them? Do you share a word with them? Do you give them hugs? Do you share a smile with them? You see, we have to get more specific so that we can become more intentional. Okay? When we can become more specific, now we can be more intentional. See, a lot of times, family, you're not getting to your next level of being because you're not specific enough. Okay? You're not specific enough. And many times you're not specific enough because there's fear. If you get specific, then that means you got some real work to do, right? If you get specific, then you cannot run and hide from yourself because there's clarity now. Okay? So this summer solstice energy is helping you to get specific. The Modest More says, D-Ray, I struggle with finding my purpose. How would I go about it? Let me tell you something. You don't find your purpose. I want to go ahead and shift that right there because you have to understand psychology and the power of words. When we say, and that's why I don't say find your purpose, because I don't believe it's finding your purpose. Because if you're finding something, that means it's lost, and it's not. It's about remembering your purpose. And so here's where you would start with that. I'm glad you asked. Thank you, the Modest More. Here's where you would start with remembering your purpose. You remember your purpose by spending time in solitude. You remember your purpose by drawing up old memories where you felt empowered, old memories where you felt bliss, old memories where you felt passion, old memories where someone says, the Modest More, or, your real name, you are so good at that. Wow. I love how you do that. How can you so easily do that? How you make me feel so loved. You make me feel so seen. You make me feel so understood. Wow. Whatever you do or whatever you're doing is healing. That is powerful. That is important. I wish I could do that. So you have to go back and remember those moments that we've all had. It may have been your elementary school teacher. It may have been that lady at the church. It may have been your friend's mother. But all of us have had experiences where someone has shined light upon that thing that we just can do and that we just get. Here's the key. Here's a major key. A lot of the times, the reason why people don't remember their purpose is because they've blocked off that part of themselves to appease their parents' ego. Ooh, yes. Let me say it again. A lot of times, the reason why people don't remember their purpose, let's go even deeper, is because a lot of people have blocked off that part of themselves to appease not only their parents' egos, but this false God, this religious ego, right? Right? You may have had a passion as a kid. You may have had something that you were totally good at as a kid, but your parents saying, you can't do that. Stop doing that. Or it could be something. Let me tell you how beautiful this is. And I want you to know that everything comes back full circle. So no matter what your situation is, understand that you live and you are existing in a self-organizing universe, meaning All of your experiences are adding value to you in your life. All of your experiences are working together for your good. Okay? But let's think about a little kid. She loves drawing, she loves art, and she creates this beautiful piece of artwork for her mother. She loves it, she's happy about it. And she goes to her mom. She says, "Mom, look at what I made. Oh my God." And she's so happy about it. But the mom's busy. The mom's working or the mom's cooking. And in that moment, instead of the mom pausing and reassuring and affirming and uplifting that little girl's artwork, the mom says, "Not right now. I can't do it right now." That baby's, that little girl's passion, purpose, her bliss, which comes from creating art, has just experienced like a silencing. Not because her mom intentionally wanted to do that. Her mom was busy. Her mom was overwhelmed. Her mom was probably single and doing it by herself. But that experience created a belief in this girl that art is not good enough, that her creativity and that passion is not right, it's not important. And so she goes through life trying to be the best accountant or lawyer or teacher, when deep in her soul was art, creativity, painting. Okay? So when you go back and you remember the experiences that you've had that make you feel bliss and that you are passionate about, a full circle moment happens when you decide that you are going to discover that. And then in the discovery, you're going to surrender to it. You know, I give you a great example of that in my own life. The person that you see before you today, I've always been, right? I've always had a lot to say. I've always had a mind that was super mature and expansive. And in my free time, I would talk to God, right? While everybody else was going and doing all types of crazy stuff, nick a knock and dry humping and all of those things. I did a little bit of that too as a little girl. I ain't gonna lie, I did a little bit of that too. But whenever I was alone, when I was not engaging with other people as a girl, I was really thinking deeply about stuff. Like, I was like really in my head. I remember being a kid writing letters to God like, "Dear God, my mom really made me sad today. I can't stand my brothers. Nobody understands me." That was me, right? I was that girl. And I just realized how I do that. That's who I am now. That's who I am today. Even though I got told so many times, "Be quiet. You talk too much. Why you going there? Ain't nobody trying to be all that deep." I mean, I have friends, associates back in the day tell me things like that. You know, tell me things like I'm being too deep or I know too much or stay in the child's place. But as I accepted, re-accepted myself, re-embraced myself, as I called back my energy from all of that chaos, because what we do unconsciously is we fragment ourselves. So, like the story I just gave about the little girl with her artwork, she'll cut off that part of herself, that artistic part, that creative part. She'll cut that part of herself off because she didn't feel accepted by her mother or her father. Okay? And so she'll go through life seeking and searching and looking how to feel whole again, how to feel complete again, how to feel empowered again and passionate again. And she'll go her whole life looking for that bliss again, not knowing that it is simply connected to her picking back up some paint, some color pencils, a canvas, and just creating. Okay? So it's that same thing for you all. But you have to understand that everything becomes a full circle moment, because let's say that young girl, she's 30 years old now, and she's been fighting through life, and she's been disconnected to herself. And now she hears D-Ray speak, right? She hears D-Ray, and she's like, damn, you know what? Let me meditate on that. And she goes into meditation and she asks Spirit, she says, Spirit, remind me of who I was before I believed in the trauma. Remind me of who I was before the heartache and the disappointment. Remind me of who I was before I had to become something else to survive in this environment. And she'll probably see some random colors pop up in her meditation. Or she'll be in the store and she's about to check out. You know how they got the little books right at the checkout, and she'll see this coloring book that just pops out to her. And something will catch her off guard, like, that's interesting. An adult coloring book. She grabs it. And then she starts coloring. And then as she's coloring, all of these downloads, all of these channels start to come through. And she starts to feel that peace and that bliss. Okay? So, but not only that, here's how it really becomes a full circle moment. It becomes a full circle moment because as she starts to explore that passion, that bliss, that excitement, that peace, and she starts to call back pieces of herself that she's fragmented to feel safe in the environment, as she starts to call that energy back, now as she's doing the work, she gets to integrate the wisdom that she's obtained through her experience. So now her art is so magnificent and so magical, and Jay-Z want to buy it for $100,000 because it conveys a message. Now that story that I just made up, thank you, Spirit, for giving it to me. That story is your story. That story is your story, but in your own unique and divine sacred way. So what I want y'all to do tonight, and then we're going to get into balance and masculine and feminine energy. Do y'all want to know a quick summer solstice ritual? And do y'all want to talk about balance and masculine and feminine energy? Because I still got to talk to y'all about that. Let me know in the chat. Patreon family, tomorrow, I'm going to take us through a guided meditation for the summer solstice. Spirit gave it to me yesterday and literally said, you got to do this with Patreon. So I'm like, Patreon and the Sacred Sister Circle. So I'm like, okay, yes, awesome. We're going to be doing that. So Patreon family, you still can do what I'm about to tell you right now. But I also want you to make sure you join that ritual. That meditation, because it's going to be super duper powerful. Okay. Mommy to a Star says, not you speaking my whole life right now. Clearly, coloring literally opened up a different part of my brain. I feel like a whole new person. Yep, me too, sis. Happened to me too. All right. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Whether you already have remembered your purpose or not, you still can do this. But I want you to spend time really getting clear on what your light is. I want you to look at, here's something I want you to look at, real easy. I want you to look at your north node in astrology. Your north node. And it's funny because the north node has been coming up a lot recently. I want you to go and find your north node in astrology. And I want you to discover what those qualities and characteristics are. I just had a consultation right before coming on here. And I told her the same thing that I'm telling you now. I want you to discover your north node. Your north node represents your North Star. It's your guiding light. It's who you're meant to evolve and grow into being at this point in time. And this lifetime, the North Node is the direction that your soul is going. In that direction that your soul is going is directly connected to your summer solstice, is directly connected to your sun, is directly connected to the light that you are meant to shine. It's who you're meant to be. See, when it comes to living a purpose-filled life, it's really just about embodying your own sacred divine energy. It's really just about you actually being who you're meant to be. And the North Node is who you're meant to be. Okay. So I want you to find that. You're going to find your North Node. And I just want you to read up on it. I want you to just read the characteristics of your North Node. So let's say you have a North Node that's in Cancer. This means that you are supposed to be nurturing, that you are supposed to be loving, that you're supposed to take care of a home, that you're supposed to be intentional about cultivating that mothering energy. So if that's what you're meant to do, I want you to tune in to your solar plexus, whatever that energy is. I want you to tune into your solar plexus after you discover what your North Node is and the characteristics of it. I want you to bring that energy, consciously bring that energy into your solar plexus. And just let those qualities resonate in your solar plexus. Because again, your North Node is your light. The solar plexus is your sun. The solar plexus, again, is your internal sun. The North Node is the light that you are meant to embody and reflect out. The North Node is your higher self. Come on, Spirit. Your North Node is your higher self. Okay? So when you know what your North Node is, this is what is going to keep you grounded in your day-to-day life because you're striving to embody that North Node energy. And so day to day, your goal is to radiate that energy, radiate that vibration from the inside out. Do we understand? I already did this for myself. I did this for myself last night. And it was so funny because I'm like, wow, I'm really embodying a lot of my North Node. So let me tell you a little bit about my North Node, some of the qualities. And you can do this in many sciences, right? So your North Node, you can find it in astrology. You can find your North Node in human design. You can find your North Node in I Ching. You could even, or in numerology, your North Node would be like your maturity number, right? It's when you finally overcome the shadow self. It's when you finally overcome your lower nature. So there are many ways that you can discover this. But the gift of my North Node is magical realism. Magical realism. And so when I was thinking about that last night, Spirit was just telling me that a part of my light that I'm supposed to shine is letting people know that you can be magical. That you can be magical. That you can manifest magic, right? That fantasy, that visualization, that divinity is real. And so when I read that, I was like, oh my God, yes, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So now I'm like, okay, every day I'm striving to let the people that I deal with, that I work with every day, my light that I'm shining on you is know that you are magical, magic is real, and that you can create and manifest in your life. And so the way that I show that, the way that I radiate that, the way that I allow that summer solstice energy to really cultivate that inside of me is I have to become the embodiment of magic and the realization of it. I have to come to you all and tell you the magical and mystical things that are happening in my own life. Okay? So that's what you guys are going to do. You're going to find your North Node, meaning your North Star, your higher self, where you're going. And then I want you to pull those qualities into your solar plexus and allow those qualities to empower your solar plexus so that you can become confident and disciplined in striving to be that daily. And as you make the decision to be that daily, the divine is going to orchestrate magical interventions to support you in that. All right. Let me get a check if we got it. Some of y'all done hopped off because you went to go and research your North Node right now. You like, I'm not playing. I'm about to go find my North Node right now. I feel you. Do that. You could also work with a citrine crystal. You could also work with a citrine crystal for this summer solstice. That's a solar plexus crystal. All right. Okay. Let me know if y'all got that. Give me a check. And let me know if y'all are ready to get into this balance in masculine and feminine energy. Listen, I got to run through this because, baby, this is deep. This is deep. So now we're going to talk about balancing this masculine and feminine energy. Yes. I'm going to tell you right now, straight off the rip, ladies, you're going to want to stay around for this. Brothers, if you're in here, you want to stay around for this too, because baby, I got some juice for you. Some of y'all came to the live workshop this past Saturday and you already got the juice. If you didn't make it, that's why I'm back here today. Even if you came on Saturday, you should still stay because you never know what downloads are going to come through. Spirit is always giving me new stuff. Okay, so let me talk to y'all about some of y'all North Nodes real quick. North Node in Aries. This means you need to be more action-oriented. This means you need to be courageous, Sade. This means you need to take risk. This means you need to cultivate this energy of valor, meaning you will face danger head on if it serves a higher good. This means you're holding it down. You're standing firm in your power. The North Node in Aries is you being a warrior goddess, but you're going to war for what is good, what is right, what is whole. Carissa, that North Node in Pisces, sis, this says that you need to be a dreamer. You have to dream more. You need to allow for fantasy and flow. This means you need to become reliant on your intuition. This means that you need to allow yourself to flow and embrace femininity. North Node in Libra, Shay, the goddess my eye. That's where you're headed. You're headed to the goddess my eye. Balance, okay? Finding that balance, finding that justice, finding that peace, right? Maintaining a heart that is light, but also teaching other people around you how to have a heart that is light, how to have a heart that is open, how to maintain a certain level of peace within yourself. North Node in Capricorn. And I'm just throwing stuff off at the top of my head. Y'all got to go and do your own research. But North Node in Capricorn, this says you have to be more disciplined. You have to know that you are divine. You have to know that you are royalty. You have to be more balanced and consistent in how you are showing up in life. The Capricorn is the GOAT. You have to know that you are great. All right. You have to know that you are great. You have to know that there's something inside of you that is powerful, that is impactful, and that is meant to set you apart. You got to be okay with being set apart. North Node in Aquarius, you have to become good at relationships, impact, influence over other people. You have to learn how to build community, okay? And Aquarius is all about community. You also have to become more organized, more presentable, right? Care about how you look, care about how you're showing up. Become very aesthetically pleasing, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, okay? That's just a little bit. I ain't going to keep going. A little something. All right, we're about to talk about how to balance your masculine and feminine energy. Y'all said you still want to know about it. You still gave me some checks, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to let you know right now. Ladies, you will have the opportunity to join the Womb Alchemy Bootcamp. The Womb Alchemy Bootcamp is starting June 28th, next week. Next week, the Womb Alchemy Bootcamp is starting. And for this Womb Alchemy Bootcamp, for this group of ladies, I already have like 8 ladies signed up, right? We are focusing on reclaiming your essence, taking back your sacred power from abuse, abandonment, abortion, attachment. Spirit gave me those words. The 4 energies that we're going to be really healing in womb alchemy this round. This is going to be the 6th round of womb alchemy. Wow. The 6th round of womb alchemy is a 4-week course. For 4 weeks, we getting busy. 4 weeks, we showing up live like we are here today, but of course in our own private community. But we're going to be dealing with attachment, right? Being attached to certain ideas, being attached to certain trauma, being attached to certain people, being attached to certain emotions. We're going to work through that. We're going to work through abortion, okay? Not just abortion like releasing of a child, but when you abort the mission that Spirit has placed on your heart. When Spirit tells you to do something and you aborted the mission out of fear, we're going to be dealing with that. We're going to be dealing with abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. We're going to be healing that, the impacts of that on your womb. And we're going to be dealing with abandonment and everything that comes with that, right? And how that affects your ability as a woman to embrace masculine energy. Because if you've experienced any of those things, it's difficult to really embrace masculine energy. Masculine energy within yourself and masculine energy within the men around you, okay? And if you're desiring a relationship, if you don't deal with your abandonment issues, your abortion issues, or the fact that you may have had an abortion, or the fact that you may have didn't do something that your spirit told you to do, your higher self said, do this, and you didn't do it. Yeah, all of that, we dealing with that. So you're going to have an opportunity to join Womb Alchemy on a very special deal for a very special price. Because all you're going to have to do is be donating to our birth, a certain amount to our birth. So again, let me say that pinned to the top of the comments is the link to donate to me finally having a water birth. I'm claiming it. I am in agreement. Ashe, it is happening. So even if you don't choose to join the class, if you donate to our birth, if you donate a certain amount, you'll get a free class off of Dreams website, whether it's our sex magic class, chakra class, make manifest, all of the stuff we've taught. If you donate a certain amount, you'll get a free code to get one of those classes for free. If you donate $200 or more, you get to be a part of Womb Alchemy. But not only do you get to be a part of the Womb Alchemy Boot Camp, which is a 4-week boot camp, we're doing work. You get a private community. You get a reading from me. You get a meditate supplement, a first eye supplement, and you get some other courses that I've created. If you head over to the link that I've posted, you can see all of that information. I say donate just because you want to receive some of that goodness, some of that love, some of that manifestation dreaming I got going on. No baby shower gifts, right? Don't send us nothing in the mail, okay? We love you. We appreciate it. But hell, we got so much baby stuff. We got a whole storage of baby stuff. We don't need it. What we need is to have this baby with a qualified midwife. And so that's what we're going to do. If you want to donate to us, the link is at the top. Grateful for it. Let's keep going. All right. So balancing your masculine and feminine energy to heal, transform, and manifest. Men, if you on here, stay on because you need to hear this. All right. Most of y'all know me already. And look, I got that same dress on today. Not ashamed. Not ashamed at all. Got that same dress on today. That was the last Master Student Conference in 2022. Y'all know me already because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. But for those of you who make contact with this randomly, hey, Desiree D-Ray, spiritual healing coach, Sacred Sister Circle curator, Womb Alchemy healing facilitator. And it is my purpose and my passion to help you heal your relationship with your sacred self. That's it. That's all. And all the good stuff that comes with that. Let's keep going. All right. The divine balance of masculine and feminine energy is the source of infinite creation. The divine balance of masculine and feminine energy is the source of infinite creation. Brothers, y'all all right? Sisters, y'all all right? Right? Like Erykah Badu said. Listen. If you do not have a balance of femininity and masculinity, you cannot birth anything. You cannot birth a baby, obviously, right? Even though we know back in them ancient times, they said women could birth a baby on their own. But even for them to be able to do that, they had to cultivate a certain level of masculine energy within themselves, right? But in this day and time, today, and I'm not going to go too deep in this because I'm going to talk about this at the Mystic Mind Conference. So if y'all are coming to that, I'm excited to see y'all there because I'm going to go deeper into it. But you need a healthy balance of masculine energy and feminine energy in order for you to infinitely create. Meaning, in order for you to manifest abundance, love, healing, there's work that you have to do. Meaning, you have to have that masculinity, which is your action, which is your discipline, which is your consistency. And you also have to have that femininity, which is your intuitiveness, your receptiveness, your relaxation. All right? The balance of those two things is where manifestation comes from. Let's keep going. Y'all let me know if y'all can see my slides. Can y'all see that? Let me know if it's big enough. North Node and Leo. Iman, that say shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see, Iman. That's what that says. That says you got to be ferocious, baby. You got to be a go-getter. You got to be a headhunter. You got to be a huntress when it comes down to you letting your light shine and letting yourself be seen. Be bold, baby. Okay? All right. So today's objectives, really quickly, we're going to talk about what masculine and feminine energy is. If you have questions about masculine and feminine energy, go ahead and drop them right now. If you are a woman and you've been struggling with embodying healthy masculine energy, maybe you've been too masculine or maybe you've been too feminine, go ahead and drop them questions right now. The wounded masculine. Oh, we're going to talk about the wounded masculine. We're going to talk about the wounded feminine. We're going to talk about how masculine energy blocks feminine power, how we balance that out, how we heal. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about womb alchemy. All right. All y'all people dropping y'all North Nodes, y'all going to have to go and research it yourself. Okay. Let's talk about this. Masculine energy is doing. It is hard work. It is analytical. It is projective. It is giving. It is outward. It is expressive. And it is spoken word. See, if there is anybody in here who struggles with speaking their truth, a part of the blockage is unhealthy masculine energy. Because masculine energy is voice. Feminine energy is everything that's happening on the inside, right? When you're talking to yourself, when you're having that whole internal conversation, you cursing somebody out in your head, that's feminine energy. Masculine energy is when you let that stuff come out, when you express it, when you vocalize it, all right? Feminine energy is being. It is passive. It is intuitive. It is receptive. It is inward. It is the internal world or word, okay? So there are some brothers on here, you have something powerful that you are meant to say and that you are meant to share, but instead of you sharing it, you keep it inside. You're in your feminine energy. There are some women in here who can't be quiet, okay? We all know them. These women are in an unhealthy level of masculine energy. I heard this woman say on Instagram, she said, a woman can destroy her relationship by what she says, by not having control over her tongue. A man can destroy his relationship by what he does. I thought that was so powerful. I thought that was so impactful. Let's keep going. All right, so let's talk about wounded masculine energy. We got some men in here, so this is going to be very good, very relevant for y'all. But ladies, if you embody this energy, this is your wounded masculine as well, okay? All right, number one, overworking. This goes for men and women. If you are overworking so much, your back hurt. You ain't got no time to yourself. Most of the time, you're using work as a distraction from yourself and out of a fear of not having enough. Most of the time, you're using work as a distraction from yourself. Like, I don't want to sit with myself. I don't want to deal with how I feel. I'm afraid I don't have enough. So I got to work, 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 work. This is wounded masculinity. Wounded masculinity is also overgiving. Brothers, if you are giving to your woman, you probably don't have no boundaries set. Now, I'm not saying don't spoil your woman, right? Dream and I, we're going to go shopping. We have some things we have to do. We have a birthday party this weekend, and we also have a wedding this weekend. So we're going to have to go out and get some things, to be prepared for that. But some of you brothers, you'll give, like Zion Williamson, okay? We can use Zion Williamson as a great example of wounded masculinity. He's giving to this stripper and to this porn star, but he's consistently putting out because that's a false sense of value and self-worth. He feels that the more he gives, the more he spends on these ladies, the more valuable he'll truly become. When the reality is, value is an energetic thing. Money, it comes and it goes. Value is something that comes from within. So brothers and sisters, because there's women here who overgive and you overwork. All right. I had to learn these lessons. 717. That's my magical number. 717. Awesome. Beautiful. I had to learn these lessons, overgiving and overworking from observing my mother. Literally from observing my mother, I learned the lessons of, I don't want to live like that. Okay. I don't want to pour so much into other people. I don't want to work so hard at this damn job that I have nothing to give to myself, nothing to give to my children, nothing to give to my man, nothing to give to my spirit and my growth. But a lot of times when we're overworking and we're overgiving, we're using this as a way of making ourselves feel fulfilled. This means that we've plugged into this false narrative that the more we do for others, the more we give to others, the more valuable we are. And your value comes from God, not from what you can do in this physical earthly realm with your body and your hands and your five senses. Okay? So we got to get out of that. We got to get out of the self-sacrifice. Okay? Another wounded masculine energy thing is overthinking. Okay? You're spending so much time thinking about what you have to do rather than just doing it. And here's why you do that. You do that because there's a fear that if you take action, something may go wrong. You overthink rather than taking action because you don't want to feel let down. You don't want to not be good enough. So you would rather, and let me tell you how funny spirit is. Because the truth of the matter is that within your thinking, within your ego, there's limitation. So you'll sit and think about an idea. Some of y'all have been thinking about your purpose and how you're meant to show up. Some of you have been thinking about that for years. And you're telling yourself that you thinking about it is productive. When in reality, you thinking about it is just creating more limitations, more blockages to the unfolding of that purpose. The reality is, let me tell y'all, I dropped this on the last thing. I'm trying to determine if I'm gonna drop it right now because I dropped it for the ladies last Saturday. Your mind cannot fathom what your higher self, what your spirit is able to create. You have to understand that you live in a self-organizing universe. Meaning, honey, the bird's eye view can see the whole picture and the whole puzzle and put things together in a way that your little egoic mind cannot. And so when you're sitting there overthinking, procrastinating, we're really just in fear of it not being good enough. You're really just in fear and not able to surrender control. This is wounded masculine energy. The next one is overprotecting. You know, this is a big one for both men and women. Where, and you know who I learned? A beautiful person who who just is as free as he want to be is damn Dream Wise. You know, he's so open. He's so open-hearted. He's so giving. My ass, I literally had to learn not to overprotect myself. And I still have to be conscious of that because I grew up with a mother who was like, She was like, protect yourself at all costs. Don't let people in. You know, I grew up with the idea that vulnerability was scary because I was always told that I was too sensitive. I cried too much. I was always told that in my sensitivity and in my vulnerability, there was a possibility that I would be taken advantage of, right? And so this created this protective shield around me. But one person that I observed for sure that is just such a giver and a lover, and has like a heart of gold is freaking Dream Wise. He is not protecting him. Let me not say that. He is spiritually protected because his heart is so pure. But when it comes to engaging with other people and vulnerability and having an open heart, he just has that. You know, he's not worried about the lack of success or the failure or somebody doing him wrong. But a lot of us are. Okay. A lot of you are. A lot of you are in wounded masculine energy when your heart has been hardened. And the problem with this, brothers and sisters, is that when your heart has been hardened, you shut down your electromagnetic field. Okay? When you're overprotecting, you've closed off that electromagnetic field. And so now you can't even attract and magnetize the things that you desire because you got this heavy ass energetic armor blocking you from projecting out what it is that you desire. Okay? Thank you, AA, for giving me some feedback because y'all done went silent in the chat. It done got too deep. The chat at first, you know, y'all was all engaging and we saying everything. I done got into this work, and y'all done went quiet. I'm like, damn, where y'all went? Y'all let me know if you still here. Say here, you know, we doing attendance now. Let me know if y'all are still here because we started getting busy and this chat got quiet, but I know you're listening. Ashe, I know you're listening. I know you're receiving it. Look, they say we here. Wow, I feel that. I'm listening. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to make sure I add in some questions. I'm going to make sure that I add in some questions as I'm going through this to keep y'all engaged because I love hearing from y'all. It fuels me. All right? It fuels me. So, next thing, over projecting. Y'all ever know somebody that externalizes everything? Everything is about somebody else. Everything is somebody else's fault. Everything, they did that, he did that. Well, this happened because of that. That's some wounded masculine energy. Because masculine energy is external. Masculine energy is about putting out. Masculine energy is about giving. Masculine energy is about the external world. But when a man or a woman is not able to turn their energy internal and reflect on what's happening within them and how their internal world is impacting their external world, this is wounded masculine energy. You've exerted too much energy to the external world. You've given too much power to the people, places, situations, and circumstances outside of yourself. Wounded masculine energy. Let me know in the chat if some of y'all have some of this energy going on inside of you. Okay? I know for me, overthinking, baby, I would think about an idea all day. Baby, I still be overthinking. I be having to work on it. I be having to put it down. I be having to say, okay, stop, D-Ray. Stop. Because like I said, when it comes down to me, if I find something interesting, I will totally be in a wormhole for it Dream Wiles will say, damn, you still looking at that? I'm like, oh my God, yes, I am. I know I need to stop. It's a problem. I'll be analyzing, trying to make sense of it, trying to connect the dots, trying to put it together. Sometimes it's led by spirit. Sometimes it's just habit, right? Sometimes it's just habit. Okay. Sometimes it's ego and the attachment to having to know something and figure it out. I'll give you a great example of that. I was having some pain in my shoulder. Honey, I'm all on Google. This is like the worst thing that you could do. The worst thing that you can do whenever you start feeling something in your body is get stuck in a damn wormhole of overthinking on Google and WebMD and thinking that these people are going to give you answers. They don't have the answers. What was that? What was that? I don't have the answer, Sway. That was that Kanye West. No, Kanye West said, you don't have the answer, Sway. Google and WebMD, they don't have the answers. They don't have it. Stop it. But I would get in a wormhole and it would make everything worse because now I'm anxious. Now I'm scared. Now I'm fearful. And now I can't stop thinking about this thing. When the reality was what was creating that pain, and this is the divine part about how it all works together, how it's always dancing back and forth. The reality is that my overprotection wounded masculine energy because masculine energy is protective. But the overprotective, think about it like a jealous man. Oh, that's some wounded masculine energy. He swear he protecting his woman. He swear he making sure nothing happened to his woman. He's being overprotective, but he's doing that because he has a wound of inadequacy. He has a wound of fear of vulnerability. He has a wound of, if I don't shield her from these other men, she may break up with me. She may hurt me. That overprotecting. The reality was for me that the pain I was feeling in my shoulder was from overprotecting myself. We have an aura. We have an energy. We have energy, right? An energetic body. And so we protect ourselves. We shield ourselves with that energetic body. And I was doing that for years. And I was doing that because in past lifetimes, I have been to war, family died, I almost died in love, right? Unrequited love situation. And so in this lifetime, I was still carrying this energy of guard my heart. Don't let anything in. And so my shoulder was hurting. Even though I went to the doctor, I got the x-rays, I did all of the work, and they said, we don't see nothing. No inflammation, no fracture. We don't see nothing, man. We don't know why it's hurting. Go home. That to me meant, girl, go talk to one of your spiritual guides, your spiritual teachers, get your answers from there. Okay. And then that's what I did. And I realized what I was doing was unhealthily overprotecting myself and not allowing energy in. Okay. So we got to be able to recognize these things and how they coincide together. Y'all want to know about some unhealthy feminine energy? Because best believe we got some of that too. All right. Wounded femininity. Who? Weak discipline. Now, understand that the feminine energy and the masculine energy, they're two sides of the same coin. So healthy masculine energy is having good discipline. When you don't have any discipline, this is weak energy. It's weak masculinity, but it's also weak femininity, right? Because it's a lack of, I really want to focus on this aspect when it comes down to weak discipline. And the aspect of it that I really want to focus on with this when it comes down to the feminine energy is disobedient to spirit. In order for you to truly tune into your divine sacred femininity, you have to become obedient to your higher self. You have to become obedient to your intuition. And when you don't do that, this is wounded femininity, because femininity is all about being able to receive from the spirit. Come on. Wow. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Divine feminine energy in its essence is Being able to tune into spirit, receive messages, receive insight, receive gifts, receive whatever it is that you need in order for you to thrive. You are in wounded femininity when you lack the discipline to remain consistent in following your intuition. You are in wounded femininity when you don't take action when your spirit told you so. Spirit says, leave that relationship, leave that job, join that class, or go to work this direction. And you don't listen because you got to be in control. Because now your ego comes in like, yeah, well, no, I know this is, no, well, I don't really have it like that. And no, I can't really do that. And you tell yourself whatever you have to tell yourself so that you are not obedient to that inner guidance. That's weak femininity. That's wounded feminine energy. Codependency. This is also wounded femininity, right? When a woman lacks self-assurance and assertiveness, this means that she's not truly tapped in to her core and to her essence as a divine sacred woman, as a soul that possesses a spirit, right? That has a spirit that lives in a physical body. When a woman is codependent, most of the time she's addicted, right? It could be addicted to shopping, okay? It could be addicted to a certain relationship, addicted to a show, addicted to an emotion, addicted to a certain thought process. I don't have enough, or ain't nobody ever looked out for me, and I always got to do stuff by myself, and I don't really trust men, and I don't have friends. You're codependent on that thought and that emotion. It makes you feel alive, thinking these thoughts and feeling these feelings that are actually not in alignment with your north node. That's not in alignment with your higher self. Okay. Over emotional. Oh my God. Ladies, you can have your emotion. You can feel how you feel. But being overly emotional means that you are so easily triggered. Somebody can say something to you and you don't have the internal resources to soothe yourself without acting out. You don't have the internal resources to take a deep breath, to come into yourself, and to realize that the experience that you are having right now is not it's not your past. See, when we are overly emotional and you're in that unhealthy feminine energy, you're in victim mentality. You're still embodying the energies of shame, guilt, and unworthiness. And so any experience you have with somebody that is not ideal will cause you to feel certain emotions of inadequacy, of why me? Why does this keep on happening in my life? This is wounded feminine energy. Weak boundaries, not standing up for yourself. We women, we have the Kali energy in us for a reason. We have the Lilith energy in us for a reason. It's because we are meant to be, and we got to stop doing this, talking about, I'm tired of having to be strong. See, this society is freaking crazy. Strength is not a problem if it's balanced out with vulnerability. You need both. But if you're always strong and you lack vulnerability, that's where the problem comes in. It's not a problem with being strong. You need to be strong. Shit. The world we live in, you need some strength, sis. But it comes from the inside. So some of those energies that are reflective as weak feminine energy is you don't know how to stand up for yourself. You're easily moved by the actions of others. You're afraid setting healthy limits. And this is not even healthy limits for other people. This is healthy limits for yourself. Okay, I've been on Instagram for too long. Let me hop off. Okay, girl, my friend want to have the same conversation. We done had this conversation 5-10 times. I'm really tired of talking to her, but I'm afraid to say, girl, I can't keep talking about this no more. Wounded femininity. Another characteristic of wounded femininity is the people pleaser. You know, women, we are naturally nurturing. We want everybody to be happy. We want everybody to feel loved. We want everybody to feel accepted. We want everybody to feel embraced. But sometimes when this energy is wounded, this makes us to become, or have made some of you to over apologize. Always apologizing, always sorry, just trying to ease or comfort the other person when you may not have done anything wrong. They may be in their bag. They may be triggered. They may be feeling some type of way. And instead of you being able to recognize that and allow them to do the work that they need to do and allow them to heal the way that they need to heal, you're going to apologize to make them feel safe, to make them feel secure, to make them feel validated in what they got going on. Wounded femininity. Over explaining. Girl, stop. You know? It's wounded femininity when you have to prove that how you're thinking, how you're feeling is valid. The only person you have to prove anything to is yourself. When you know within your being that you are showing up divinely, connected, and this is not to say that we don't make mistakes, because we do. But when you know that you're doing your best and you're striving, you could apologize, get whatever you need to get off your chest, and still have a certain level of dignity and respect and love and worthiness. But when you are over explaining and it's not being received, okay, this is what really triggers some of those emotions of inadequacy, of not being good enough, so on and so forth. Self-mutilation. Okay, let's talk about this week. This is wounded femininity. How many of you ladies have ever been in a relationship with somebody who you didn't really like? How many of you ladies have ever been intimate with somebody who you may have liked them, you may have been vibing with them, but maybe there's this one night where you're like, I'm really not feeling that. But because you don't want to trigger him, or because you don't want no problems with him, you become intimate with him, you become sexually active with him as a form of pleasing or appeasing his ego. Has that ever happened to y'all? It's happened to me. It's happened to me before. It's happened to me, just being real. Thank God for Dream Wise. Thank God for that healing. But it's happened. And this is wounded feminine energy, where you'll mutilate yourself and abuse yourself and neglect yourself to appease the ego of whoever you're dealing with. Okay? Another quality of wounded femininity is repressed truth. When you're afraid to speak your truth, when you're afraid to let your light shine, when you're afraid to be who you are divinely destined to be, out of fear that it's going to rub somebody the wrong way. These are all qualities of wounded femininity. Let me get a check if we got it. If we understand the wounded masculinity and the wounded femininity, give me a check before we move forward. I want to make sure we got that locked down. We got that understood before we keep going. Yes, yes, yes. Give me a check before we keep going, because we got work to do. Y'all ready for the work? Because here's the work. Here's the work. But I need to make sure that you all understand those qualities and those characteristics. Okay? Because we all have both. We all have masculine energy and feminine energy, and we all have wounded aspects of them based off of our experiences. Okay? So there are some men here who are people pleasers. There are some men here who don't have boundaries. There are some men here who have weak discipline. It's all the same thing. We all are embodying masculine and feminine energy. But I'm going to tell you right now how to heal that and how to balance that out. All right? We got these checks, so that means we're ready to tap in. Okay? So one of the very first things that you need to do is you need to understand, why are the masculine and feminine energies within you deficient? So when it comes down to femininity, if you are not receptive, if you are not allowing, if you don't allow yourself to relax and rest, if you are not very intuitive, if you do not, if you have to be in control, right? You have to ask yourself, why is that? On the masculine side, if you are afraid of taking action and taking risk, if you lack discipline and consistency, if you are not a protector or provider, if you can't recognize how your external world is a reflection of your internal world, you have to ask yourself, why is this energy deficient? What attachment, what abandonment, what abuse have I experienced that has stunted my growth within this quality or within this energy? Here's a great example of this. I used to have wounded masculine energy in the realm of discipline and setting times, setting a time limit on when I'm supposed to do things, setting a time limit of, or saying, I'm going to do this at 9 o'clock in the morning on June 22nd, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing that. I struggled with doing that. And I would lie to myself, and I would tell myself that the reason why I struggled with that was because I'm just in my feminine energy. I'm the goddess Oshun, and I just go with the flow, and I just take it easy, and everything will happen in divine timing. Honey, that's good at a certain level of consciousness, but at the level of consciousness I am at and was at that time, that was limitation. Spirit was saying, no, you make the decision right now as to what you want to do, who you want to be, how you want to show up, and you show up and you do it, and you rise to the occasion. But as I did the work and I discovered where that came from, I realized, and I think I told y'all this before, but I realized that the reason why I struggled with discipline and setting times and that healthy masculine energy, and the reason why I procrastinated a lot, was because I was afraid that it wouldn't happen on the day and time that I said it. And if it didn't happen on the day and time that I said I would do something, I would experience disappointment. I would experience abandonment. I would experience rejection. Okay. And the reason why I had that feeling is because I've told y'all this. My father was supposed to come on that Friday night. He didn't come. And so I developed a mentality that said, you know what? I'm not gonna say he coming on Friday. I'm not gonna say he coming on none of these days. Whenever he come, he come. I'm gonna just go with the flow. So that was a defense mechanism. Okay. That was a defense mechanism for me. It was not the truth. It was not in alignment with who I actually needed to be. Do we understand? Even when I think about weak boundaries, this is so good. Weak boundaries. One of the reasons why I had weak boundaries is because I had a mother who I felt was controlling. So I felt like what I needed and what I desired didn't matter. It was always what my mother thought. And oh God, and I remember when Dream and I first got together and we had our first child, honey, he used to be like, you need to tell your mama, you need to tell your mama we can't do that. You need to tell your mama she got to get out of business. You need to tell your mama this, you need to tell your mama that. Honey, I didn't have no boundaries with my mama. I didn't have no boundaries with my mama. My mama could tell me how to raise my kids, what to do with them. They needed to go to church and all of that. I didn't have no boundaries, but the reason why I didn't have any boundaries is because I never felt worthy of boundaries, because I never felt like I made decisions and choices for my life. But when I decided, and I healed that wound, when I decided I'm going to choose what I desire for me, boundaries had to go in place. And now this became a healed feminine quality. Meaning, the reason why you set healthy boundaries is so that you can nourish yourself. It's so that you're not pouring into people, places, and things that don't fill you up, that don't add value to your life. That is why you set boundaries. Boundaries are not about other people. Boundaries are for you. And I didn't have them at one point in time in my life, especially when it came to my mother, because my mother was the person who always made decisions and choices for me. All right. So you have to know, why are the masculine and feminine energies within you deficient? What has caused that to happen? Next, You want to discover, well, actually, I need to rearrange this. Second, you want to release the mental, well, these two kind of go hand in hand. Let me say that. They really kind of happen at the same time. Here's why. You want to discover your deepest desires. Who are you? What do you desire to be? What is that north node? Who are you being called to evolve into? More abundance, more love, more power, more purpose, more passion, more prosperity, more traveling, more sacred sexuality. What are you being called to? Deepest desires. You have to discover that. And after you discover that, you have to become aware of the mental, emotional blockages and habits that stand in the way of that manifestation. This is so good. Y'all, honey, this right here. I mean, Spirit be channeling a lot of this stuff through me. And as I listen to myself, I'm like, damn, I be needing to hear this too, Preacher is always preaching to themselves. Always remember that, okay? But as you discover your deepest desires, you have to also discover what mental and emotional habits and physical habits you have to release in order to align with that. Then you need to embrace and embody the qualities necessary for your manifestation. Okay? Let me say that again. First, you need to determine what deficiencies you have within your masculine and feminine energy. I just gave y'all a whole list of that. You need to discover what are your deepest desires. What do you want for your life? Then you need to release the things, the thoughts, the emotions, the habits that are in contradiction to those desires. Because if you keep thinking, feeling, and behaving a certain way, all you are doing is canceling out your desire. Okay? Me not setting boundaries was me canceling out my desire to make decisions for myself, to stand on my own 2 feet, to trust my intuition. Me not setting timelines and saying, I'm sending this email at this time. I'm going live at this time. I'm having this class at this time. I'm going to say I'm launching womb alchemy at this time. Me not doing that was blocking me from being the coach, the guide, the healer, the oracle that I knew I was meant to be. And so I had to work through that and release that. And then I had to embrace and embody the qualities necessary for that manifestation. So I got to show up on time. I got to set boundaries with myself. I got to do the work. Okay? Check, check, check. Let's keep going. So something that you all can do that I recommend, I started doing alternate nostril breathing years ago. I would be taking a spiritual bath and I would just get these breaths in. So go ahead and do it with me right now if you can. What you want to do, these is called I don't even know what the mudra is. I'm not even going to tell y'all and mess it up because I don't forgot what it's called. But you want to take your pinky and your ring finger, and then your thumb, pinky and ring finger and the thumb, they make a V. That's why I kind of want to say Vishnu, but I'm not going to say it and be wrong. Okay, it's okay. So you're going to take these fingers right here. You're going to close one nostril, inhale through the open nostril. Close that open one, hold, open, and exhale. Inhale through the open nostril, close, open, exhale. Oh my God. What alternate nostril breathing does, how it supports you is it balances out the right and left hemispheres of the brain by intentionally oxygenating that side of the brain one by one by one. So that kundalini energy, right? This weaving of energy is what you are doing with the alternate nostril breathing. You're going in through one nostril, which affects this opposite side of the brain, right? Each nostril is giving breath to the opposite side of the brain. It's like a diagonal. It's an X like this, okay? And so when you do that and when you develop a consistent practice with that, this is going to start the brain balancing. If you are in Patreon, we are reading the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is so important because it talks about the importance of having a brain that is susceptible to change. Brain health is important. Just like physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, brain health is important. So you have to give oxygen to your brain so that it can start to create new pathways of communication. Listen, if you do not change your brain, meaning whether you're right brain or left brain, if you do not balance out those hemispheres, you cannot change your life. So you alternate the nostrils with the inhale and exhales too. Yes. So again, you're going to inhale through the open one, close, exhale out the opposite. Then inhale through that one that's open, close, exhale out the opposite. And let me tell y'all something. See, I've been hella balanced recently, y'all. That's why I'm able to teach this right now so powerfully and impactfully, because I've been getting up and doing my work. I have not been playing about any aspect of my life, my home life, my kids, my relationship with Dream, business. I've been showing up like, let's go, balanced in it. And so as I do my alternate nostril breathing, I don't have any blockages. Spirit is funny. You may not have a cold, but if you try doing that alternate nostril breathing and you start, one of them nostrils, you can't get no good smooth inhale, that may be showing you exactly the side of your brain where you're having congestion. It may be showing you the masculine or the feminine energy that is clouded and that is not flowing easily and effortlessly. And so when I did it, honey, I was lacking masculine energy. All right? I was lacking masculine energy. Okay? So it's very, very important. Okay? This is very, very important that you really understand this beautiful, beautiful science. Understand that the right is femininity, the left is masculinity. But understand this, it's opposites. Okay? So when you think about this from like how do I explain this? So like let's say you're doing some let's say you're doing eye reading. Let's see if you're doing eye reading. Okay? If I was to be reading my right eye is going to tell me what's happening on the left side of my body. Do we understand? Okay? So this is how this works. Okay? And it has to be balanced. I hear a lot of people talking about right hand pad, left hand pad, dark side, and things like that. You need both. You need your light and your dark. You need your masculine and your feminine. Okay? So understand that the left hemisphere of the brain is logical, and that's the male energy. The right side is your dreamy, sensitive, feminine energy. So this is why if I were inhaling, I just want to give y'all this example. If I were inhaling on the left side of my nose and I had some stagnation, then that would say my right brain or my feminine energy is congested, is stagnated. If I'm inhaling on the right side of my nose and it's smooth and clear, then that would say that my masculine hemisphere of my brain is doing what it needs to do. Okay? Really, really good, juicy stuff. Let's keep going. So I want to tell y'all really quickly something that you can do right now to get busy with this. All right? This is something you can do right now to get busy with this. Alternating nostril breathing. You need to do that. But also, you need to understand how this works when it comes down to healing and creating in your life. One, you have to understand that everything has to start in the heart, inspiration, feminine energy. This is why they say women are so emotional. It just means women are more heart-centered. Okay? So Whenever you are approaching your life or any aspect of your life, you want to tune into your heart first, because within your heart, this is where you're going to be spirit-led, purpose-led, passion-led. Rewind this video all the way back to the summer solstice stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Heart, feminine energy, that comes first. If your left nostril is not smooth enough, Jaslyn, what that is saying is that you're not really tuning in as much as you should be to your creativity, to your divine femininity, to your intuition, to your heart. You got to tune into your heart, okay? So heart space, femininity, spirit-led, heart's desires, passion, and purpose. Next is going to be the mind, the masculine energy. So first step, family, is finding your passion, is finding your heart, is finding your love. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is aligning your mind with the heart. It's not the other way around. Stop trying to get your heart to understand your mind. That's not how it works. Get your masculine to understand your feminine. This literally just happened today between Dream and I. We're outside, we're talking, we deep in the flow, talking spiritual talk, talking about our lives, talking about our manifestations, talking about our healing. We're deep into our work. And one of my friends calls while we're talking. And I was about to just text her. I wasn't going to pick up the phone, but I was going to text her and say, hey, girl, I'll call you back later. Dream Wise said, don't send no text messages. Just let it be what it is. And I was like, damn, see, that's the power of masculine energy. Because I was about to divert my attention from the flow and from the build and from the power that Dream and I were in to give my friend attention, when the reality is what my friend got to talk about ain't nothing compared to what we're talking about. And when the reality is that my friend is going to take me back into a loop of something that I'm not dealing with right now, of something that I'm not into right now. Me and Dream are talking about what's in my heart, what's in my spirit, where I'm going, my desires, my passions. She about to talk to me about something that I've already conquered and overcome, right? Based off of what she's dealing with in her life. And so it wasn't the time for that. I can probably talk to her now after I do my work. But while I'm in the flow, focusing on what is in my heart, I need that divine masculine energy, that logic and that reason to keep me focused and to keep me grounded and to keep me aligned in the present moment with what I desire. Check. Come on now. And I paused him. I said, babe, see, you are the example of why women do need healthy masculine energy in the form of a partner, but also within yourself. Because if you don't have a partner to keep you grounded, something in you has to keep you focused on what's in your heart for you to do, be, and have. And if you don't have that masculine mechanism inside of you that keeps you consciously aligned with your inspiration, that keeps you in the present moment with what you desire, that keeps you disciplined and consistent with staying to the goal, it's so easy to backtrack because humans are creatures of habit. You will backtrack and continue being the woman or the man that you do not desire to be. So you need healthy masculine energy. Healthy masculine energy is you consciously choosing, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say. This is who I'm going to be so that I can manifest my heart's desire. Do we see how masculine and feminine energy works together? Feminine energy is the heart's desire. It's the spirit-led. It's the passion. It's the purpose. Masculine energy, make sure you get there. Masculine energy makes sure that you stay focused, intentional, and consistent in going for your goals and desires. That's what masculine energy does. So it don't matter whether you are a man or a woman, you need to understand both sides of the coin. Because you may have some men on here who are just logically like, this is what I want. You know, I want to make the money and I want to have a badass wife and I want to have a big house. But that may not be in your spirit, sir. That may not be what's coming from your soul. You may want that because that validates your manhood and not necessarily your spirit. So that's why you need that feminine energy, brothers. All right. And then lastly, in order for things to manifest and for life to be birthed, you have to have balance, which means you have to keep on dancing between the femininity, the spirit, the inspiration, and then the action of it, masculine energy. So you literally have to structure your life around being inspired and taking the action on that inspiration. This is how you balance masculine and feminine energy. One of the issues, though, is that one of the issues with the whole process that people have, which is why I'm offering you ladies now to join Womb Alchemy. One of the issues with it, though, is that so many women, right, cannot recognize the traumas and the dramas and the heartbreaks and the disappointments that cause you to not even desire. Brothers, too. Some brothers will say, I'm good. I don't really want for nothing. I got this, I got that. No. There's always more to be had. There's always greater levels to go. I don't care if you're a multimillionaire with a beautiful wife and 6 kids and a big house. There's still something that your spirit is always going to be taking you to as long as you have breath. As long as you are still living and breathing on this life, there's still desires to be manifest and birthed from you. Okay? You'll know when there's nothing else when you make that transition. All right? So you have to know that so a lot of women, I can ask a woman, what do you want for your life? And she's going to give a very surface level answer. What that says to me is that she's closed off her womb to want more, to desire more, to want to birth, to want to manifest. She's closed it off because somebody told her she couldn't have. Because she had some relationship that made her feel like she wasn't good enough. So now she don't really want love. She like, I'm good with a single life. So in Womb Alchemy, we got to do the work to heal that so that you can start to have those desires, so that you can be ignited, so that you can implant a seed into your womb and birth it. Okay? A seed being an idea, a business, a relationship, a child, a car, a house, whatever it is that you desire. So a lot of you have to do the healing work to get to the point of even feeling inspired. A lot of you have to do the healing work to re-embody healthy masculine energy and get out of the procrastination, the laziness, the indecision, the fear. These are all programs and conditions based off of unhealed trauma. And that's where Womb Alchemy comes into. So part 3 of balancing out inner masculine and feminine energy is you have to start finding gratitude for the proof of your desires showing up. I give you a great example of this. Just happened today. Spirit just gave so many examples today. Dream and I were talking about business. We're talking about life. We're talking about, what direction we're headed in and things we want to do. And Spirit gave me this book. I told you I was in a wormhole with the book. I was in a wormhole with that book last night. But Spirit gave me this book that I read that just it empowered me so much. It gave me so much clarity for different approaches and avenues for business. I was like, damn, okay, Spirit, thank you. See, I was inspired. Spirit put something on my heart. Every day I've been waking up and taking strides towards that, understanding it, aligning it. Then Spirit sends me this magical ass book. And I'm like, damn. So what does that mean? That was the proof. That was the gratitude that Spirit is aligning me with what I want and what I desire and what I'm asking for at this point in time. Check. Let me know if we're getting it. Okay. So that's what Spirit did. So it goes back to what I was talking about in the summer solstice build, just in this same conversation. You have to understand that you don't want the get rich quick scheme. You don't want the quick heal and I feel better today scheme. You want the longevity. You want the transformation. You want the activation. You want the initiation. You want the evolvement. You want to become who you are destined and called to be. All right. So really quickly, this is for the ladies. Ladies, Womb Alchemy Healing, the 30-day boot camp is actually starting June 28th. And it's a spiritual system for women who are seeking to reclaim their sacred essence from abuse, abandonment, attachment, and abortion. And everything else that comes with that, okay? I'm just telling you, ladies, we taking back our power, period. As I'm going through this, go ahead and drop questions in the chat. Brothers, if you have them, sisters, if you have them, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat so we can answer that and get this party, keep this party going, and then bring this party to a close. Okay. So in the Womb Alchemy Healing Boot Camp, it's a 30-day boot camp, 4 live group sessions, kind of like what we're doing right now, but of course, intimately, just us, where we get to really talk and do activations. And the reason why I love doing those live sessions like that and really being intimate is because a part of my magic is helping the people that I work with and talk to, helping them to see things that they couldn't see. That's my magic, right? And so, or my magic is just helping you to see the bigger picture. My magic is helping you to be encouraged, helping you to evolve, helping you to know that you can. That's my magic. And so when we talk to each other and I get to hear your voice, this allows me to tune into your spirit and activate some things inside of you that really support your transformation. So I love the live sessions. We're going to have 4 of them. The first session is the magical mindset. The second session is self-discovery. The third session is release. The fourth session is embrace, right? You got to cultivate the right mentality. First and foremost, you got to know how the mind works, how the conscious and subconscious mind works in detail. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about self-discovery. I'm going to be asking y'all some questions to help you get deep into those answers about who you are, why you are, and where you're going. Then we're going to do some release work, some purging, some purification. And then lastly, baby, we want to embrace the goddess, okay? That's what we're going to be going through for them 4 weeks. This is Jenny. I don't, do I want to play this right now? Can it play? It can't even play. It can't even play. So it's all good. So here's what you're going to receive. If you join the Womb Alchemy boot camp, you will receive my Womb Alchemy Healing Rituals ebook. You're going to receive Healing Through the Womb lecture. God, that was last year's Master Student Conference. I killed that lecture. I mean, killed it, ladies. You're going to receive How to Do Your Womb Work While at Work, my class, Relationship Alchemy, a private community, 50% off one-on-one coaching with me, live Q&A sessions, and self-paced assignments. So we're going to be getting busy, okay? We're going to be getting busy. You're going to be receiving a lot of value during this class. So not going to read all of that because, listen, y'all just got to know. I don't know if there's anybody in here who's taking Womb Alchemy. Is there anybody in the chat that has taken Womb Alchemy? If you are, let me know. And I don't mean Womb Alchemy like you went back to the recordings. I'm talking about live and in person. And shout out to the ladies that have already signed up. I'm only taking a few more people because I really want to be able to dedicate a lot of energy, a lot of love, a lot of healing to the ladies who are in the space. So I have a few more spots left. I'm going to tell you how to join if this is something that you are interested in. So the original price for Womb Alchemy is $11.97 because this is highly activated. You're getting a lot of bonuses. But Dream and I were thinking about something. We wanted to create a super sweet deal for y'all. We wanted to create an opportunity for you to get the activations, get the lessons, get the healings, but we also wanted you to be a part of our birth story. And so with that, I can't even play this video for y'all. So with that, what we are asking you all is that if you want to be a part of Womb Alchemy, simply all you have to do is donate, okay? Them babies down there crunk. I don't know what them babies down there doing. All you have to do is donate to Dream and I's birth, $200 or more in order for you to be a part of Womb Alchemy. That's it. That is all. All you have to do is donate $200 or more to be a part of Dream and I's birth. And to be a part of Womb Alchemy, I should say. Okay. Just drop the link right there for any of you ladies who are like, yes, I'm ready to do this. If you're ready to heal, if you're ready to transform, if you're ready to tap in, if you're ready to become who you were meant to be, you need to be in this class. Okay. You need to be in this class. It's absolutely powerful. And I'm just so in love. I'm so grateful to be able to deliver this message. This is a video. Y'all can't see it, so don't worry about it because it's not gonna play on here. But if you click the link that I just dropped, then you will be able to listen to that video, hear about what we're doing, and support us. Even if you're not going to join Womb Alchemy, you like, girl, I don't think I need all of that. Let me try working on what you've given me right now. That's fine. If you received value from this video and you want to show some love, I welcome you to go over and donate to our birth. It can be $5, $10, $50, whatever it is that you want to donate to us for our birth. We will gladly and happily receive it. And fortunately, beautifully enough, we're giving you back something, right? You're not just giving to us and not receiving back, okay? You're not just giving to us and not receiving back. In fact, when you donate to us, with whatever tier you donate at, we're going to give you something back, okay? Whatever tier you donate at, we're going to give you something back. And so if you donate between $50 to $200, then you're going to get a free class off of DreamWise's website. So our chakra class, Make Manifest, which was a great class. We killed that class. The chakra class we killed too. Our sex magic class, our gematria class, any one of those classes, all you have to do is donate between $50 to $200 to get that. $200 or more, then you get to join me in Womb Alchemy, a 4-week class. Okay, a 4-week class where we meet 4 weeks in a row. And not only that, you'll still get a free class from DreamWise, but you'll also get the Meditate supplement, the First Eye supplement, and a free reading from me, and the class, and all the bonuses. So there's a lot of value. There's a lot of value being given through this work. Our first session is June 28th. Our first session is June 28th for Womb Alchemy. So I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited to share all of this wisdom and insight with y'all. Deadline, sis, because I got to get my hustle on for this $200. Girl, listen, first of all, let me tell you, all you got to do, ask and ye shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Put it out there. Say, I want it. I want it. Want it. I got it. Dripping like water. Whatever that song, however that song goes, But I was telling some other ladies, it was so amazing because when I did the live on Saturday, some other ladies were saying the same thing. Like, financially, I don't know. Girl, one girl turned around and was able to pay like the very next day. And I was like, see, sis, it's a mentality. It's a mentality. Okay. So real. Okay. So real. So once you decide that you want something, like Shakila says, once you decide that you require something, honey, the a way will be made, but you have to, like we said, feminine energy, which is the inspiration. You feel it in your heart, right? There's a resonance there. There's something that says, damn, I want to do that. That's in your heart. Then the next thing is taking action towards it. And something I will say, let's say this. We have 1 week into the class. We have 1 week to the class. It's $200 at minimum to get in. Let's say today you have $50 and you shake something up and you make something happen and you end up donating $200 by June 28th. I will gladly send you that link so that you are live in that first class. Okay. But you have to make it known to spirit. You have to make it known to your higher self. You have to make it known to the universe that truly, come on, spirit, that you know that this is something that is going to support your next level. And let me tell you something that's so divine. Something that's so divine is that a lot of times this is the portal or the gateway that you're meant to walk through, but because we limit it to money, we don't walk into this new experience that's actually going to take us to our next level. And so it may not even be my class. It could be somebody else's class. It could be taking that trip. It could be coming to the Mystic Mind Conference. It could be taking some type of adventure that costs money. Never let money stop you from getting to your next level. I'm not talking about buying a purse. I'm not talking about getting your hair done. I'm not talking about buying makeup. I'm talking about making the investment into something that you know is going to add value to your life and open you up to a higher level of consciousness. When something is adding value to your life like that, money is not the issue. Spirit is going to make it happen. That's what I believe. Shit, I done bought plenty of classes and spirit and it just works out. So I believe that will happen for you as well. Shakila, set that intention, put that energy out there, watch the magic happen. It will. Give me some Q&A. Let's answer some questions. Let's have some fun. The Modest Moore says, fear is my biggest struggle. First of all, we're not claiming fear. We're not claiming fear. Okay. We're going to rewire our brain. We're going to rewire your brain, rewire how you relate to fear. Let's change that. Okay. But tapping into what that fear really is or not, what it stems from, has been a challenge for me. Any insight, D-Ray? Fear is my biggest struggle, but tapping into what that fear really is or where it stemmed from has been a challenge for me. Any insight, D-Ray? Yes, I do got some insight. I think that's a great question. So you have to ask yourself, how do you experience fear? How do you experience fear? Okay, because fear disguises itself as procrastination. Fear disguises itself as laziness. Fear disguises itself as indecision. Fear disguises itself as anger. Fear disguises itself as irritation. Fear disguises itself as feeling hopeless, like I don't have any goals. Fear disguises itself as depression. So you have to become conscious of how fear is disguising itself in your life. So if it's procrastination, now when we get that understood, now you can say, well, what am I procrastinating on? Oh, I'm procrastinating on starting that business. Well, why am I afraid to start the business now? So you have to uncover fear. So for you right now, the Modest Moore, first of all, we're no longer attaching fear to ourselves. You're no longer going to attach fear to you. Fear is mine. Fear is not anything yours. You don't own fear. Okay. So that's the first thing. Now you just said it's procrastination. What specifically are you procrastinating on? That's the next question you got to ask yourself. What steps am I not taking? A lot of times when we procrastinate, we feel we're afraid of the judgment. You know, I know that was one of my things. I was afraid of the judgment. I was afraid of me doing the work and it not being good enough. So I'd rather not do it. Okay. Procrastinating to get that certification. You got to ask yourself, why? Do you feel like you're competent? Do you feel like you can? A lot of the times, the fear is all coming back to, especially when it comes down to procrastination, a lot of the times it's all coming back to feeling inadequate or not good enough or not being able to meet the standard. But understand that you don't have to compare or compete with anybody. This is your journey. This is your path. And so where you are right now is divine. And each small step you take moving forward is just getting you closer and closer and closer to where your higher self is calling you to be. So when you procrastinate, you are just slowing down your own self-realization. When you allow yourself to be uncomfortable by taking action, even though you may have some anxiety, right? You may be like, I don't know. See, it's not really fear, it's anxiety. There's a difference between those two. Okay. But when you understand that, when you really understand that being uncomfortable is where you will discover a lot of your self-worth, a lot of your self-value, a lot of your self-love, because you're going to tap into another deeper level of yourself. So that's why you have to take those steps. You'll never know until you know. So you got to take the steps so that you can discover, even if the judgment does come. When people judge whatever it is that you do, it's a reflection of them, not of you. Remember that. Shakila says, I hear you, sis, loud and clear. My struggle life path 8. I'm doing the work though. Intention set. See you on the 28th. Love it, love it, love it. See you on the 28th. Yes, yes, yes. Love that. We not claiming no more struggle, y'all. We're not claiming no more struggle, no more difficulty. We got to change the language, okay? We got to change the language. We have to start talking about ourselves in a way that's empowering, right? Because the reality is that the very struggle that you have is your light. It's just you're just focusing on the dark side of it. You're just focusing on the quote unquote negative side of it. So when you flip that coin and you look back and you discover the gift of the situation, now you tap into a higher state of being within yourself. Okay? Any more questions before I hop off? Been getting busy up here. We got a lot of work to do. Shout out to all the ladies who are already in the Womb Alchemy Boot Camp. I love y'all. Yes, I'm so excited. I love all of y'all, whether you're in the boot camp or not. So, but I encourage you to join so that you can get those activations, so that you can get that activation. Know that you're worthy. You're worthy of it. You deserve it. My lipstick coming off, so that lets me know it's definitely about time to go. It says, how do you overcome not speaking your mind out of fear of hurting others? Well, you have to, you can read the book, The Four Agreements. That's a very good book for this issue. But you also have to understand that how a person responds to your truth is a reflection of them and not a reflection of you. So good. In the book, The Four Agreements, he says, when we think that what we say or do really has the power of hurting people, we are in a state of inflated ego. Now, that's not verbatim. So what I want you to do, Sade, is understand, this is so juicy. Understand that sometimes people use emotions to manipulate. Sometimes a person will feel some type of way about something that you have to say just to control you. And that is why you have to detach from the idea and the belief that it is your words that are hurting them. No, it's not your words that are hurting them. It is their perception of your words that are hurting them. Major difference. Major difference. Now, with that being said, when you have to communicate an idea, a feeling, or a boundary, you still need to do so respectfully, right? Because if you come into if you want to have a vulnerable conversation and you rolling your neck and you got an attitude and you cursing and you doing all of those things, you are projecting an energy onto that person that is not one that allows them to be receptive to what it is you have to say. If you come into a situation with a mental state that says, they're not going to like what I have to say, they're going to be upset about what I have to say, they're not going to receive what I have to say, they're going to be mad about what I have to say. If you go into a conversation with that energy, that's a projection that you are casting onto them, and that is what you shall create. But when you go into a conversation being open, being honest, desiring clarity, desiring honesty, when you go into a conversation with integrity within yourself, when you go into a conversation knowing that you are speaking the truth that you are aware of at this current moment, then how they respond is not your business. And when you make it your business, this is your ego needing validation that this person is wrong and that this person doesn't understand you and that this person, you can never speak your truth to this person. I used to deal with that a lot. I used to think that I could never talk to my mom. I used to be like, I cannot tell my mama anything. She never understands me. She just, I was really telling myself that story. And then a few years ago, 2020, I was having a very emotional moment. I was feeling sad. I was feeling down. I was driving to work this morning, a specific morning. And my spirit said, call your mom. Now, my ego did not want me to call her. My ego was like, no, don't call her. Your mama not going to understand. She never understand. Why would you even call her? But then my spirit reminded me, like, how you going to be a spiritual healing coach? How you going to be helping women heal their relationships and you are not giving your mother the opportunity to prove that she can hold space for you? And so I surrendered that thought in the moment and I called her. And when I tell you she gave me everything that I needed in that moment, she empowered me, she loved on me, she nourished me, she gave me everything that I needed. But that's because I had chose before the conversation even started, I chose that I was going to be open to her holding that space for me. So people who are dealing with speaking your truth, you got to get it out of your mind that you can't do it. You got to get it out of your mind that speaking your truth is going to lead to emotional or verbal abuse. If that happens, though, it's not a result of you speaking your truth. It's the result of how the other person received it. So you got to detach from it being your fault. It's not your fault. And the reason why you don't speak your truth right now is because you believe it's your fault. Because you believe how people respond to you is your fault. You're making them feel that way. You don't have that control over people. It has to stop. We don't have that level of control over people. We just don't. People choose how they respond. People choose how they react. And so you get to choose to say, I'm going to speak my truth, because when you don't speak your truth, you're in that wounded feminine energy and you put yourself in position to be taken advantage of, to not have good, healthy boundaries, and to just not receive what you need to receive in order for you to thrive in this reality, in order for you to thrive in this world. Okay. All right. All right, cool. I think we got it. I think we did it. Listen, I'll see y'all in Womb Alchemy. Thank y'all for being here today. Do me a favor. If this was a powerful build and if you gained some value through this build, in the comments of this video, not in the chat, in the comments of this video, let me know what you enjoyed or embraced most about it. All right. I'll see y'all in Womb Alchemy. Again, if you just want to love on Dream Wise and I and our new bundle of joy that we're bringing in here, head over to our birth and midwifery care page. Send your donations. We're so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be talking to y'all soon. Peace and love, family. Do y'all's work. Enjoy the summer solstice.